Question 3. DS. M and N are positive integers. When 7 times 10 to the power of m plus n is divided by 9, what is the remainder? Condition 1. M equals 3. Condition 2. N equals 2. Solution. Now we will solve this DS question using the variable approach. Common mistake type 4A. If you get C as an answer too easily, then consider A or B as an answer. Let's look at the information from the question prompt or the original condition. This is an integer question, and therefore one of the key questions. We need to watch out for CMT3 and 4 in key questions. Also, the answer to this question will be unique, and therefore we apply CMT2 to this question. Let's apply the 3 steps suggested previously. Follow the first step of the variable approach by modifying and rechecking the original condition and the question. The approach is always the same, so it is important to remember the solving process. We have to determine the remainder if 7 times 10 to the power of m plus n is divided by 9, where m and n are positive integers. This means that we must have only one remainder for an answer. At this point, we need to remember the remainder rules. The remainder after dividing a number by 3 or 9 is the same as the remainder after dividing the sum of digits of that number by 3 or 9. For example, we know 112 divided by 3 has a remainder of 1 because 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 4 divided by 3, which has a remainder of 1. Wow, this is very important. It is no exaggeration to say that it appears in every exam. You're going to learn about this in lesson G19. Follow the second and third steps. From the original condition, we have 2 variables, m and n. To match the number of variables with the number of equations, we need 2 equations. Since conditions 1 and 2 will provide 1 equation each, C would most likely be the answer. Recall 3 principles. Choose C as the most likely answer. Let's take a look at both the conditions together, which gives us 7 times 10 cubed plus 2 equals 7,002. To figure out the remainder, we can use the method mentioned above, which means that the remainder after dividing by 3 or 9 is the same as the remainder after dividing the sum of digits of that number by 3 or 9. Since the remainder when 7,002 is divided by 9 is the same as the remainder when 7 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 equals 9 is divided by 9, we get the remainder of 0. The answer is unique, so the conditions combined are sufficient, according to CMT2, which means that the number of answers must be 1. Thus, C seems to be the answer. However, since this question is an integer question, which is also one of the key questions, we should apply CMT4A, which states that if you get C as an answer too easily, then consider A or B as an answer. So, we have to consider each condition separately. Condition 1 tells us that m equals 3. If we plug this into the equation, we get 7 times 10 cubed plus n. If n equals 1, we get 7,001. Since the sum of the digits of 7,001 is 8, the remainder is 8. If n equals 2, we get 7,002. Since the sum of the digits of 7,002 is 9, the remainder is 0. The answer is not unique, so the condition is not sufficient, according to CMT2, which means that the number of answers must be 1. Condition 2 tells us that n equals 2. If we plug this into the equation, we get 7 times 10 to the power of m plus 2. If m equals 1, we get 72. If m equals 2, we get 702. If m equals 3, we get 7002. In all of these cases, the sum of the digits is always 9. This means that the remainder is always 0. The answer is unique, so the condition is sufficient, according to CMT2, which means that the number of answers must be 1. If the question has both C and B as its answer, then B is an answer rather than C, by the definition of DS questions. This question is a 50 to 51 level question and can easily be solved using the relationship between the variable approach and common mistake type 3 or 4A or B. Condition 2 alone is sufficient. B is the correct answer. Answer: B.